It's Rob!
Tony! And I'm Jeff.
We're in gaming.
And that's you.
Hello gamers and welcome back to the Inn. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me that, and we will be knocking out the ranks 14 to 13 in this episode. We will be playing our Mech Mage deck, which I've been looking forward. I look forward to this at the very beginning of every season because I always play Mech Mage, and it's always really fun. And it shows that even though this deck is extremely old and hasn't really been updated throughout the past expansion that much, nothing has really changed. It still works really well. So we're gonna get rid of the Goblin Blast Mage and the Lothar, keep the Cog Master. And people come back and be like, oh, your Mech Mage deck is outdated, it doesn't work. And it's like, no, it's not. It works fine. His deck works very efficient, and it'll easily take you to Legend. I mean, it's not one of those decks that, you know, has a 100% win rate and requires all the skill in the game. No, it's fun. It has probably around a 60 to 65% win rate, depending on who you're playing against. Obviously, if you get bad matchups and bad hands, you're not going to win. But what deck doesn't not do well when you don't get good hands? Anyway, we're going to ping off the 2-1. Playing the Mech Warper here just seems bad. Killing off a creature for free seems pretty good. And swing for 1 next turn, depending on what he plays. We're probably Mech Warper and Mana Worm, if not Mana Worm and then Frostbolt. So we've got some options in here. We've got plenty of options. Fireball's a little premature. I wish that was like a Blast Mage or something. That'd be really nice, but Can't always get what you want. And if you try sometimes, get what you need. All right, so we're going to Mech Warper, Mana Worm, and I guess we could throw down the free Clockwork Gnome. Clockwork guy. Mech Warper's so good. He's just so good. Look at him, he's just like panning over Mech Warper like, fuck you, man. There's always shenanigans with Mech Warper, because you really don't know what happens. Like, you leave Mech Warper up and your opponent floods the field with Mech Warpers, and if they get Mech Warper, sometimes they just can't really use it. Wow, another Mech Warper, which is really good. We're going to kill off his Spell Power Totem just to get rid of it. We're going to attack with everything else. Having 2 Mech Warpers out is pretty crazy. Because if we draw into like Piloted Shredder or Sky Golem, it's pretty much free. And yeah, I think this is pretty much a game unless he has like a Lightning Storm, even though most of the time it's aggro Shaman. But last time we thought it was aggro Shaman that didn't run Lightning Storm. We were completely wrong, so who knows, right? Elemental Destruction, okay. Of course you've got Elemental Destruction in your deck. All right, so it looks like we're gonna ping off the Leper and play the Annoyotron. There's not really much else we can do. We just have to hope that we'll be able to draw into our Arcane Intellect sometime soon, and/or Blast Mage, and/or Piloted Sky Golem, and/or our Archmage, and our Dr. Boom. Any of which are good draws. If we draw into like more Annoyotrons or like Mana Worms, stuff like that, it's bad. Cogmaster is not. It's not good. It's not high enough. It's just a 1-drop creature that's a 1/2 if he kills a Annoyotron. So I mean, it is a creature and it's okay. But we need so much better than that. Like, even Piloted Shredder would be okay, because I would actually have used all our mana. Alright, so Feral Spirits. Totem Golem. So it looks like we'll be killing off one of the wolves. Never mind. I was going to say we're going to kill off one of the wolves with the Cogmaster, but we can't even do that. Blast Mage is good. Play this, see what happens. Ideally, it maybe kills a creature. Okay, so it got one really low. We'll ping it, and I think we just... Yeah, I think we just end it. Keep the Divine Shield on him. So actually, if we attacked into the wolf, then the wolf could attack him and kill him. And right now, the Annoyotron soaks both attacks. Ancestral Knowledge, that's really good for him. We need our Arcane Intellect to kind of catch up with him in hand because he has a lot of cards. Another Ancestral Knowledge. Wow. Okay. So we need to draw into both our Arcane Intellects. As I said, the Annoyotron soaked both attacks. Double Fireball, Frostbolt. Wow. So I think we ping the wolf, swing into the other, or Frostbolt the other wolf, and swing face. I almost attacked into the creature with it, but we have 2 Fireballs and a Frostbolt. So actually we're pushing lethal next turn. We don't want to let him know that we have 2 Fireballs in our hand, even though I'm pretty sure he knows we have 2 Fireballs, because what cards would I keep in a Mech Mage deck that I'm not going to play with 4 mana? If it was Dr. Boom, I would have played it. If it was Piloted Sky Golem, I would have played it. So he's going to Hex the 5/4, knowing that we have a lot of burst damage in our hand. Clockwork Gnome, not good. Gonna ping it. So ideally we're pushing lethal next turn if he doesn't kill the gnome, because we can just gnome attack for 2. He's at 12, double fireball, and then ping, which is 13. So if he kills the gnome, we are at, okay. He has to use a spell to kill the gnome. If he attacks the gnome with his weapon, he loses. If he doesn't, he loses. He has to kill it, or if he gets a taunt totem. Don't be a taunt totem. It's a taunt totem. So he's actually going to be left at 1 HP if we chose to go balls deep, but I don't think we are. Lothub's good. So Lothub, swing for 2, ping for 1, and then we end our turn. I'm not sure what he's going to do here unless he has like a healing wave. That would be really bad if he healed for 14. Into Killbot would be bad, but ideally he doesn't run those in his deck. I don't know why he's running Elemental Destruction. Like that was... What? You have Totem Golems in your deck, you've got Doom Hammers in your deck, you've got Spirits in your deck, why are you running an Elemental Destruction? Like, I realize sometimes early on in the game you get, like, Raffle Stomped, which we were doing to him earlier, but, like, most of the time in the Shaman deck, we've been through this, you don't lose field control with the Shaman deck. The Shaman deck just, there's so many early great cards, like Totem Golem. How do you play a freaking 2-drop 3/4 and lose field control? That card's a monster. So if he doesn't kill Lothub, we win. You'd have to Crackle for 5. Actually, you can't because we Lothubbed and spells cost more. All right, so that's going to be game. So we're just going to Frostbolt, Fireball, Fireball, Ping. We're going to Frostbolt. Yeah, no, that's definitely a Frostbolt, Rob. All right, so we need 2 more games, and we should be good. Ideally, we should just win 2 in a row with this deck. This deck is so strong in these early ranks. People just can't deal with the constant flood of high-powered creatures. Like, as soon as Mech Warper comes out and you've got at least 2 mechs to follow up, including a Noyotron, it just makes your opponent have to deal with your field. And then most of the time you're able to make value trades because like the Tinkertown is a 4/4. Pilot Sky Golem's really sticky. The Snow Trugger freezes. I think we get rid of this entire hand here. Yeah, and then most people don't run double Arcane Intellect, but I decided I'll try it, and it's actually been working really good. Because if you think about it, in the aggro Shaman deck, they run 2 Arcane, Ancestral Knowledges, so why wouldn't a deck that's kind of similar, flooding the field with creatures and winning like that, why would that not play 2 of its kind of cards that allows you to draw 2 cards? So, in this situation, coining out the Mech Warper is like the obvious play. I didn't really think I needed to mention that. Next turn is going to be, okay, Snow Chugger either way. Or we ping the 2/1, but I think we Snow Chugger. Just to lay it out there, because the sooner we freeze warriors, it's the better. And I think we kill off the Iron Beak with our Mech Warper. Or we go face. I think we kill it off. Because we killed it off due to the fact that if he has like an Inner Rage or a Taskmaster, he would just swing into our Snow Chugger and then deal the 1 damage to it to kill it. Tinkertown for sure, swing in for 4, freezes Warrior. For some reason I can't say names right today. I was like Frostbolt and the Fireball and Tinkertown Technician. I couldn't even say that. I was about to say the guy with the gears. The King's Defender, wow, that's a really awkward kind of weapon for him to have. Normally they have the War Axe. Shredder for sure in this situation. I don't see why I wouldn't. And then we'll swing for 8. And he's still frozen, so bring him down to 20 and he can't attack with his weapon. Ideally, of course, Warriors have Brawl on turn 5. If they do, they're going to use it. And hopefully a Snow Chugger lives. Technician is fine. Mech Warper would be not so good. Wow, so he did have the Brawl. Okay, so Shredder lived. It's not that great, but it's still decent. I'd prefer this over a Mech Warper, I suppose. Next turn, probably Arcane Intellect. Let's see what we draw. All right, so probably Frostbolt face. It makes it so he can't kill off our Shredder, and puts in some damage to him. Next turn we can play the Piloted Sky Golem, and then the following turn play Dr. Boom. Okay. All right, so we're gonna smash. See what we get. A Mech Warper. Wow. I'm sorry. That sucks. All right, so now we're gonna play the Piloted Sky Golem and the free mech, and then we'll probably also throw out the Cogmaster or the Mana Worm. I think the Cogmaster is a little bit better, right? We play the Cogmaster. We already used one brawl, so I don't think we shouldn't throw out the Cogmaster. There's no reason not to. How much damage do we have? We have 6, 8, 11, 12, 13. Did I just completely fuck up that math? That's 5, 11, 12, 13. No, I'm right. And then 14 with passive. So if he uses armor, he still stays alive by 3 health. We boom, and we win when we play boom. And if he kills the spare parts dude, then we get spare parts for Archmage, which is already in our hand. By the time we play Archmage on turn 8 or 9, we'll actually have 2 spare parts. Wow, Reno fucking Jackson. All right, so back to full health. Time to bring him back down. Okay, so Dr. Boom, and I'm pretty sure we just swing face with everything. I don't really see a reason to play Spider Tank or Mana Worm. The Archmage doesn't make sense here. The Boom is probably the best play. And do we kill off the Reno? I don't think we do. If we were, we would have smacked our Piloted Sky Golem into it. But right now, we're just trying to get him down as fast as possible. Again. Like, his whole deck, he probably runs 2 Brawls if he's running the Reno deck. Actually, no, if he runs 1 ofs, then he probably doesn't run 2 Brawls. Even though he basically should, but he won't. What the fuck is he playing? North Sea Witch? What the fuck is that shit? Alright, so we're going to Archmage, give it invisibility like we said we would when the spare parts guy dies. We were hoping for invisibility. That's the best one we can give it. We're going to swing face, swing face, swing face, and then next turn, ideally, if he cannot kill the Archmage with either a brawl or something like that, we win. Okay, so Rag costs 5. Actually, Rag can kill 2. It's a 33% chance he kills our Archmage. So that's actually not bad. All right, so the bomb hit that. The bomb hits face. No, we win either way. It doesn't matter who he hits, because if he hits the Archmage, then we just swing for 6 and Fireball anyway. We drew into a Fireball. Wow, that worked out really well. Okay, so Reno Warrior, a little bit interesting. He did Brawl in turn 5, which really set us back, but normally they don't have, I mean, they always have Brawl, but I mean, it's still a good play for him. Like, it sets us back so far. If we would have, like, won for sure if he didn't Brawl that turn. It'd have been too much damage too quickly. Also, even with Reno requiring 1 of stuff, he's still in a warrior deck. You still run 2 of cards, depending on the card. Like Despite, of course you run 2 of Despite. I don't know why you wouldn't run 2 Brawls. Anyway, Fireball and Archmage are too much. Snow Chugger and Cogmaster are perfect, especially against a Druid. Clockwork Gnome's not so good. Because the Druid can just use his passive to kill it. The Cogmaster, on the other hand, is a really powerful card, because if he Ass Pirates on turn 2, then we just play Snow Chugger and swing our Cogmaster into the Ass Pirate. And he also can't kill it with his passive. So, Clockwork Gnome, even though it's a really good 1-drop and it's a decent starter, not against Druids. Not against Druids. Not against Mages either. Not against Rogues. There's the Ass Pirate that you can always expect from a Druid, so we're going to throw down the Snow Chugger. We have a nice curve with the Spider Tank. We're going to hold on to Coin because we have no 4-drop, so coining into Loatheb on turn 4 may be a little bit better than coining into the coining into the Spider Tank right now. So yeah, you get ahead 1 turn, and then I suppose you could play the Snow Chugger and Clockwork Gnome together, but then he can still use his passive to kill it. But if we decide that we want to play the Clockwork Gnome next turn, he's frozen. So Spider Tank for sure. Swing face for 2, and he's frozen. So now playing the Gnome may not be so bad because he can't use his passive to kill it. Yeah. So this is good. Him being frozen stops the 2-1 from being able to die. We're pretty prone to swipe, though, because he could swipe the Spider Tank, kill off our 2-1, and then swing his 3-3 into our 2-3. And then we'd be forced to ping off the 3-1 and then play our Snow Chugger, and then after that's Loatheb. But it depends. So it looks like he doesn't have swipe, and he's probably, yep, going to end his turn. Okay, sweet. So we're going to play the Piloted Shredder because it's a little bit better in this situation. It's a little bit more stickier than Loatheb is. Even though Loatheb does stop spells, if he had swipe, he would have used it. And if he doesn't have swipe, therefore he doesn't have it. And for 5 mana, Druids don't have much. So I might Loatheb next turn. Yeah. We also can play Loatheb anyway. Alright, so Snow Chugger down. 2-1 down. Wow, this puts us in an awkward situation where we have to ping the 3-1 because it's If we end our turn, it goes to a 4-2, and then it comes out of ping range. So, like, whatever we do, we're definitely going to ping this. Like, it just has to die. Then from there, to deal with the 4-6, we're going to have to probably swing Shredder into it. See what pops out of our Shredder, and then swing Spider Tank into it, and then Frostbolt the 4-2. We clear his field, and we get 1 card on their field still. But the taunt's so good. So, rip Shredder. What could come out of Shredder? I don't think yeah. Looks like Shredder's our only option. Because no matter if we would have Frostbolted it and then swung into with our Spider Tank, Shredder goes into the Shade of Naxxramas. So it doesn't really matter the ordering of which this happens. We're Frostbolting and we're attacking into both his cards because the Shade of Naxxramas has to die. And yeah, it's just there's not a good play there. Both of our creatures were going to die. So drew to the Saber for the Invis, passive, okay. So next turn is going to be probably Shredder Snowchugger. Swing for 2. Yeah, so Shredder, and then Snowchugger. Put Shredder in the middle there, and swing for 2. Next turn, depending on what he does, maybe Loatheb, and then 1-drop or Loatheb Ping. So Force of Nature, killing off probably okay, so he's gonna kill off the Shredder. Ooze is gonna die to Forest, and then he's gonna swing 2 Forests into Snowchugger. So we actually live with our 2-3 still, giving us still the initiative. All right, so Loatheb, and then I believe our 1-drop, and then swing for 2. So in this situation, if he uses his passive, he can't play a 7-drop. And as we know, Druids have really powerful 7-drops. So it's either kill a 2-1 and don't play lore, or play lore and our 2-drop lives. So Druid of the Claw, and he's also, okay, so he's going to passive here. Druid of the lore, Druid of the Claw off the top for the taunt, nice. So it looks like this turn we're going to swing our Loatheb into his 4-6, ping it for 1, and then bring it back to our hand and probably play Loatheb again. That seems like it's a pretty decent play in this situation. We want to save at least our weapon for our Archmage. At least one of the spare parts. So we're going to bring that back to our hand. Swing for 2. We can actually play Spider Tank and Noyotron, but I think Loatheb is a little bit stronger because then he can't swipe. It also puts a 5/5 on the board. That's pretty aggressive. And we also don't have Blast Mage, so kind of want to save a mech to make sure they don't die for Blast Mage, which we haven't drawn yet. So Fel Reaver, Keeper of the Grove to silence the Fel Reaver. Wow. Okay, so now it's actually no effect we get from playing cards. So we're going to see what we can get from Arcane Intellect. We're pretty safe with the Noyotron, but still. So we're gonna kill Mech Warper for 2. That's a 1, 2, that's 3, that's 5. Okay, that's fine. So we can now a Noyotron, Spider Tank, and then Frostbolt the Fel Reaver, so it can attack. Yeah, Frostbolt this, swing for 5, swing for 2, and end our turn. And I accidentally said we played Spider Tank. We don't play Spider Tank. I was just getting too excited. Yeah, we just play Mech Warper and a Noyotron and Spider Tank, and we use our little spare part, and we play Fireball and Frostbolt, and we draw 2 more. No, just kidding. Okay, so he's going to silence that. It doesn't do him any good. Doesn't stop us from having lethal. The Leopard Gnome, again, doesn't stop us from having lethal. He would have to kill the Loatheb some way, and he has no way to kill that. Because we have 8 damage. Because, yeah, we have 8 damage no matter what. He passives, he's at 9, and then our passive just hits him for 1 as well. So there's no way for him to win here. Us frostbolting the Fel Reaver was really important there, because his Fel Reaver would have been able to kill our Loatheb in that situation. Or he could have maybe forced a nature. No. Yeah, it was pretty important we drew Frostbolt. Anyway, we're rank 13, making our way down the ranks, going fast, playing Mech Mage. Here we go now. Okay, so with that said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the episodes. Let me know if you think in the comment section below. As always, comments, questions, or concerns, I try to answer as quick as possible. You know the drill, yada, yada, yada. And of course, guys, I always appreciate the views, always appreciate the comments, and always appreciate all the support you guys give me. A little rant, this channel just 6 months ago was not very big. The videos we would post would get maybe 100 views in the first week. Now we post them and they get like 1,000 in the first 3 days, which in my opinion is absolutely crazy that we've grown so much so quickly. And we've pretty much been able to do that with all the support you guys have been giving us. So I just want to say thank you. I probably don't say it enough, but thanks, guys. It really means a lot to me, and it really motivates me to continue making these videos, to know that someone actually watches them and enjoys them. So for those of you still sticking around at the end of this video, thanks for sticking around. Always glad to have you at the end. And of course, I'm Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.